Hello guys, week 3 of winter anime coming through. These shows are getting pretty interesting. I see a lot of emotional moments and cool stories being told, as well as great action. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, I wanted to talk about WEP. You might not have heard of it. It's not WAP, it's WEP. WEP, aka Wonder Egg Priority. It's a kind of thrilling new anime. It's original, and I didn't really know too much about it. But then I saw it was being recommended. It's like a must see. It's like pretty unique. So I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. And yeah, there are 2 episodes so far, and it's pretty solid. So it starts off with this blue-haired girl. She's our main character, Ai, and then she wears this like funny, big yellow hoodie, and she has blue hair. And then she sees like this dead bug, and then she hears a voice, and the voice is like, "Your first egg is free," and she gets an egg. So yeah, it starts off kind of mysterious. We see this innocent girl so far, but it's kind of unpredictable where this will go. There's like very heavy Madoka vibes so far throughout this episode, as well as just some like emotional baggage that we will get to. So then Ai falls asleep with the egg, and then she wakes up in this dream, and then she's in some mysterious school. She sees some like creepy students and stuff that don't really acknowledge her, and then she goes to a bathroom where she accidentally breaks the egg. And then inside the egg, there's this brown-haired girl that just pops out inside. Her name is Saijo Kurumi. So we don't really know why this girl is coming out of the egg, but once she's out, she gets attacked by some of these goblins with knives. They have like red masks. So the Madoka themes are coming through here, where they're just like in some mysterious like dimension with stuff just attacking them. It looks like pretty surreal. It looks like there's this schoolgirl with like no face, and then she stabs Ai. Ai kind of bleeds a little bit, and then they run away. So then Ai realizes that she's in some dream school where there might be like creepy murderers and monsters, but then Ai can't really get hurt in the dream since it's a dream for her. But then the girl inside the egg, Kurumi, she can actually die in this world. So Ai is trying to protect Kurumi because these monsters seem to ignore Ai and attack Kurumi. So after that quick explanation, there's like a girl, Nagase, who in the real world, I is like remembering this as like a flashback. She commits suicide, and this girl Nagase was actually Ai's friend. Like they sit next to each other. Like I think she's ugly because she has like heterochromia. People think it's weird, but then Nagase says, "Oh no, it's pretty cool." And it's like I kind of betrayed her maybe by not like being closer friends with her, like helping her like support her through the bullying. So yeah, it's just like we don't know why Nagase committed suicide, but we have this setup where Ai and Nagase were friends, and then Nagase killed herself. So after that, we go back to the dream school, where we have to survive until the bell rings. So once the bell rings, like you win the dream world, I guess. So Ai is like the bodyguard for the girl in the egg, Kurumi. So then the creepy no-face schoolgirl comes in. She seems to be like the main threat. And then it's so cool. Ai takes a pen. It's like those pens with like the 4 colors that you can swap, and she transforms it into like a giant hammer. So it's like a magical pen hammer that she just slams onto this ghost girl that's murdering people. Yeah, it's a pretty hype action scene right there. And then Ai is realizing that the point of this world, she sees like this statue of Nagase, and it's like if she keeps saving people in the eggs, like the first egg girl is Kurumi, and then if she saves more people, then she can get her wish in reviving Nagase. So we kind of get our motivation right here. This is like our primary goal. The girl Ai has to keep saving people from the eggs. So there's more than one egg. And once you save the egg person, they like disappear. And then your dream world over here is finished, like you succeeded. And then you just have to go again next day or whatever. Pretty interesting setup there. But then as we go back to the real world, Ai seems to have her injuries come through to the real world. So in the dream world, she could get stabbed and attacked all she wants and she'll be fine. But when she returns to the normal world, the injuries will like surface there. So yeah, she starts bleeding from the side, gets like a nosebleed as well, and has to go to the hospital. Her parents are kind of worried about her, but yeah, she doesn't really reveal where she got her injuries. So yeah, that's like a real thing then. Like even if you can't get injured in the real world, like your life is still in danger when you wake up. So you have to be careful. And then we see that there are multiple egg worlds. So then like Ai is not the only girl doing this mission. There are also like other people that maybe want to have a wish to revive like someone they missed or lost. So I guess the whole goal is that you go save up someone from the egg world, and then you save enough people from the eggs, then you can get your wish. So yeah, this first episode was cool. Just again, very mysterious and thrillery. A lot of like horror and blood and violence, as well as just like girls with some emotional backstories that we have not covered yet, but it'll probably get there soon. And then in episode 2, we see a new girl. It's like a tan girl, and then she meets up with Ai. They both seem to be in the same situation where they're collecting eggs and like saving the egg people. So then the tan girl, she seems kind of standoffish. Like she's very independent. She doesn't want to be friends with Ai. And then she reveals to Ai that she loves herself, but then she let her sister die. So she wants to like do this for her sister. And then she tells Ai, "Oh, I don't want to see you again. So let's go to the egg worlds on different days so we don't have to interact with each other." So then after that, Ai goes into the dream world to rescue another egg. And then she realizes that if she keeps the egg and doesn't let it break, she easily bypasses the whole situation. It's like, if the egg person doesn't revive, then there's going to be no attackers coming, and we'll just like survive until the bell rings. That didn't work. She clumsily kind of drops the egg. This girl with like a leotard, a gymnastics girl, Minami Suzuro, comes in. We see that her gym coach is overworking her, and that's like her nightmare that's chasing after her. So that's like a pretty big information drop we got, where the person that's attacking the egg person is like the person that's like tormenting them in real life. So this gymnastics girl's coach, like she's overworking her, saying, "Oh, you need to be skinnier and you need to like practice for hours." That's like giving her a lot of trauma. And then we get a reveal where it's not enough to survive. If you want to get your wish, you have to kill the Wonder Killer. So the person of trauma is the Wonder Killer. So again, the gym coach is like this blank face, the evil gym teacher, but then she transforms into like this big lion monster. It's kind of reminiscent of like a Persona 5 type of monster, where in like the Persona world, they're like this normal person, but then they change into like this monstrous final boss figure. So yeah, that's what the gym teacher turned into. We also get a little bit of Ai's story where she was afraid of being left out, and then she didn't want to make the bullies hate her. Her friend Nagase that she let die, like she didn't help her like record the bullies bullying her. So like they had a plan, and then I backed out of it. So that's like a bit about her past. We're getting a little bit more bits and pieces of her backstory. But then after that, yeah, she tries to fight the coach. The coach is pretty strong, cuts her up a bit, throws slime at her. But then she weapon swaps. So you know how she had the pen hammer in the first episode? Here she takes the ribbon of the gymnastic girl and turns into like a big whip. So then I think that's a cool theme. It's like each girl from the eggs gives her a new weapon to fight. So it's like she's expanding her arsenal. Now she has a hammer and a whip. So when she defeats the coach, Minami thanks her and then she disappears. And then I guess the second egg story is dealt with. So Minami's rescued 2 people. And then I have like this small prediction where maybe like her friend Nagase, maybe one day she'll find her in the egg, and then her Wonder Killer will be Ai herself. And then after that, the next day, she sees the tan girl in the hospital. So she's alright, but a bit injured, so I guess she's going a bit too hard. And then Ai and the tan girl are friends now. I guess she doesn't want her to like kill herself, like overwork herself, like, take your time, like you'll get your wish as long as you succeed. So yeah, this story is definitely very unique. The vibe is good, the music is nice, a bunch of happy moments, some chill like female characters, but then there's also like thriller, murderers, like fighting. You know how Madoka, each girl has like some like drama going on in their lives. So here it's probably the same type of vibe where their backstories will probably get revealed, and then it'll be like a cool moment each time. Also, the egg environment, like the dream world, is very trippy, so I would love to see more of that. So yeah, if you haven't heard of Wonder Egg Priority, maybe check it out. So for Attack on Titan, the final season, the fighting continues. We see the Jaw Titan Porco being surrounded by all the scouts. Just as it looks like he's about to die, a lot of the scouts get shot down by the Cart Titan. She comes in right on time. Her squad, they armor up, and now she's just shooting most of the scouts. So yeah, casualties happening on both sides now. And then the Beast Titan shows up. So yeah, wherever he was, now he's back in the battle. It's pretty amazing because it's 3 Titan team. suck out all the momentum of the scouts. The scouts started strong, but now there's a peak with all the guns shooting everyone. There's the Beast Titan throwing rocks everywhere, and then the Jaw Titan just jumping around. As well as the Warhammer Titan. She's still alive in the hardened crystal. Eren cannot shatter it, so he can't swallow the Warhammer Titan. And then the Warhammer Titan can still function, and she uses the last of her strength to stuck Eren into like this crystallized tree. So yeah, the scouts are looking like they're in trouble. Gabby also shows up with Falco. They both talk about how Reiner is out of the battle, and then they run to the front lines because they want to know what's going on. They want to fight Eren Yeager. And a certain blonde boy comes into the scene. He's rowing his fishing boat next to the navy that's sending reinforcements. He takes off his hooded cloak, and it's Armin. He has shorter hair, but he looks like exactly the same as he did before, just a little older. Just as we see him, he turns into the Colossal Titan. He nukes the whole port and several city blocks. The explosion can be seen and the shockwaves can be felt in the battlefield by the playhouse. They had a plan, attack the reinforcements, and as Armin did this, he escapes the Colossal Titan body, and he sees the wreckage around him, and says something pretty heartbreaking. He's like, oh, this is what Bertholdt might have seen when he did this. He's pretty much a full-fledged killer now. So in the midst of all this confusion, Levi attacks the Beast Titan. It was so funny just seeing the Beast Titan die in like 2 seconds. Levi slashes him up like he did before. So yeah, Levi's pretty much 2-0 on the Beast Titan. And then he grenades the neck of the Titan. So it looks like the Beast Titan is dead. And then the next Titan to fall is the Cart Titan. Sasha snipes the soldiers that are behind the Cart Titan's armor, which gives John a clear path to throw some explosives and just blow up the Cart Titan. We find out that she's a little less durable than the other Titans, so she goes down. She's severely injured, just like a hole in her stomach. She's like bleeding from the mouth. So now it's the Jaw Titan left remaining. He's pretty strong. His teeth and claws are so sharp they can cut off Eren's arms very easily. His claws are sharp enough to slash the crystallized Titan. Also, a blimp comes in, kind of like a Zeppelin plane. We see Armin and Hanj piloting it. So it's part of their plan. They're gonna pick everyone up right now and escape back before they get shot down. So yeah, their plan is attack, send a message, kill all the Titans, swallow the Warhammer Titan, and come back to the island. The Jaw Titan tries to stop this, but then he gets distracted. Mikasa slices up his legs, and Eren beats him up, takes off his appendages, and he uses his mouth to crush the Warhammer Titan. Her crystallized form, he lodged it into the mouth of the Jaw Titan and just like snapped his head. So, aka the Nutcracker Titan right here. It was a pretty humiliating showing by him as Eren swallows up the bloodied spine of the Warhammer Titan and he gains the power. So he has 3 Titan powers now: Attack, Founder, and Warhammer. So Gabby and Falco were yelling, screaming for their lives, trying to rescue Reiner. And Reiner, who was about to die, he was just like so depressed and he's like, let me rest. He comes out and transforms into the Armored Titan as the last line of defense. But he looks really messed up. So yeah, the battle rages on. Great showing by both sides. Okay, so for Dr. Stone, The Stone Wars, Episode 2. I guess it's the first day of the Stone Wars. It's starting. Senku has his plan where he wants to deliver the cell phone to the camp to Yuzuriha and Taiju. And then while that's going on, Homura is doing some gymnastics, and then she's fighting Kohaku. Kohaku shows how she is prehistoric Saber. She like pulls out her sword and like dances around the trees and almost kills Homura, but then her gymnastic skills allows her to be more agile. Like Kohaku has never dealt with someone with the 21st century athletic skills, so Homura runs away. The music is also pretty good. You know how Dr. Stone has this like some random rap just like sprinkled on? Yeah, it's also here too, so yeah, that's nice to hear. Senku comes running in. He throws in a flare, which is made from boiled seawater, and then you electrify it to get magnesium, and you just put that in a light bulb. So Homura gets blinded. Cool hero moment by Senku, but since he's like a weak scientist, he can't really subdue her. She like breaks free from his grasp and runs away. But then Senku has a plan where he puts some blue rock mineral that they got from last season. He had some, so he like put it on her, so it glows in the sunlight. It's like a trail that she's leaving that she doesn't know about. Then Senku pulls out like this UV flashlight from his arm. Again, it's explained how he makes it, where he uses nickel and barium, and then he just combines that and makes like this purplish color that you put into like a light bulb, and it shines into like a black UV light type of color. They're trying to follow her because she's trying to follow the people with the cell phones. It's like she's in the middle, Senku's team is in the back, and then Chrome, Magma, and Gen are in the front. So it's like a three-man chase going on. But then the thing is that they use the cell phone to communicate with each other and make it so like, oh, they meet up and then they double flank her and then capture her. So yeah, she's subdued, which is pretty nice. We also get a bit of Kohaku's life where she's never killed anyone, even though she's like one of the strongest warriors. She has never killed a person, so she's a little reluctant in fighting. Like, she can fight them, but killing them, finishing them off, like, yeah, she doesn't want to do that. The other team, they go to deliver the cell phone. The delivery point is at Senku's gravestone. And then while they're doing it, there's this dude with crazy hearing, and he fights with a bow and arrow. So it's funny how, like, each side has, like, kind of overpowered characters that are, like, you got, like, Magma, who's really strong. You got Kohaku, who's, like, really skilled with the sword. But then you also got, like, Tsukasa, who's, like, the strongest dude ever. Like, some dude with a spear. Homura, who's good at, like, gymnastics. And then this dude with super hearing. It's like these overpowered people are gonna fight each other. But then you got Senku with the overpowered science as well. They're trying to make this, like, a bloodless war. Taiju and Yuzuriha meet up at Senku's grave. They dig up the cell phone. And the episode ends there. Okay, so for RE0 Season 2, Part 2, Episode 3, we get some Garfield backstory. Because Garfield is becoming a huge problem now. He's attacking Subaru. Because Subaru and Amelia, they want to do the trials, but then Garfield is like, he thinks something's wrong, so he's fighting them. Also, we see that Garfield, that X in his face, that edgy scar, is from him doing the trials before, him remembering his mom, and then him just smashing his face into the wall to try to, like, get rid of, like, his mom's kiss in his forehead. Now we know. Perfectly X scar while you just smash your head into the wall. Okay, after that, we get Garfield's story where his mom abandoned him and his sister, and then his sister just left him to build a world outside, and she's like, oh, I can trust you in liberating the sanctuary, Garfield. But then, yeah, all of Garfield's family just deserted him. Garfield's mom died in a landslide, like, directly after she left. He wants to, like, not love his mom so much, but yeah, he loves her. That's why he wants to lock down Sanctuary, because, like, there's nothing good in trying to leave. But then, yeah, Subaru wants to save the Sanctuary. So he charges into the Beast Garfield, like he's, like, fully Tiger mode. And then he activates Sharmak, which is ability given to him by Puck, where it's like he turns into, like, smoke, and then he stabs Garfield with the necklace. And then turns Garfield back to, like, a normal human. Garfield punches Subaru in the face, but Subaru doesn't move. He just tanks it. Like, big punch in the cheek. He probably lost some teeth. But yeah, Subaru, like, shows him that he can fight back now. He uppercuts him with the shadow hand. So Subaru has some actual powers to fight. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. It's like Subaru, all he can do is die so far. Now that he can actually fight a little bit, he has, like, some combat capabilities. He can actually, like, protect himself a bit. Yeah, that's cool. So then after that, we get to know, like, what actually happened in Garfield's life. So his mom left him, and then she told Frederica that she's leaving to find their father for some important mission. So then she left them, like, those necklaces. It revealed that the mom was actually a good person. Wasn't really a big surprise, but yeah, Garfield was wrong. He was in his edgy, emotional ways. After they finished their fight, Subaru and Garfield get their own lap pillows with Amelia and Ram. So yeah, Ram, Garfield ship right here. And then after that, they're ready to finish the trials. Amelia goes in, and then she sees there's, like, graffiti on the wall that Subaru wrote. So Subaru was, like, scratching on the trials, like, oh, Amelia, you can do it. Some, like, corny stuff, so then Amelia doesn't get, like, drowned into her negative thoughts. So yeah, pretty cute by Subaru there. And at the end of the episode, Amelia goes sees the Witch of Greed. So then there might be some dialogue going on between them. You know how the Witch of Greed is, like, an evil person. She just wants to, like, have infinite knowledge. So yeah, we'll see what they talk about. and if Amelia can become independent and solve the problems on her own now. And for The Promised Neverland, Season 2, Episode 3, we see the kids leaving the underground safe house given by the demons, Sonju and Mujika. And yeah, they see them off. They have like good training. Sonju is like the big hunter dude with the mask, and then the horse. He's like pretty cool. And then he tells them, yeah, remember, if you see a demon, your first option is to run. If you can't run and you have to fight, then aim for the head. But then after the kids leave, we find out that Sonju, he's not 100% evil, but he doesn't have good intentions. He's like a demon at heart, where he wants to eat the humans, but he doesn't want to eat them grown by the farm. He wants them to have babies or whatever. Like, he wants to eat their babies. Like, he wants to eat natural humans. So he thinks if he saves more humans, they're going to give birth to more humans, which is more food for him. So he's doing it for his own selfish gain. It's going to take a while, though, you know? They're just kids, and you need, like, years upon years to actually have, like, a functioning society, which have enough people to sacrifice for your own gain. So, yeah, Sonju has some evil story there. It'll probably resurface, but Mujika's just there chilling. She's like, oh, okay, I see. So then, yeah, the kids, they go to Minerva's coordinates. They cross this desert, and then they see that there's nothing around when they finally reach the coordinates. But then Ray pulls out the pen. They see, like, there's a map to this underground facility. So they see there's, like, this hidden trapdoor, and it opens up to, like, this huge bunker. It's, like, a big underground facility with a bunch of rooms. They can relax. It has, like, a piano, generators, some food, some gardens, so it's like a self-sufficient type of place. You can take care of yourself here. There's also like a radio there, so they can tune the radio to the signal of the orphanage, and then they can hear like the mothers check in. They can hear like the information they're giving. So yeah, the kids are like using their brains. They have information gathering now. But then as this episode, it plays out a little too happy. We get a classic Promised Neverland end of episode creepiness happening. We see there's a locked room that Ray has to use his pen to open. And then there's a payphone in there. And then the payphone rings. And a dude on the phone is like, yo, this is William Minerva. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then after that, some of the other kids, they go see like this room in the basement. And it's like this torture room. It's like help me written on it. So, you know, like those rooms where people scratch on the walls, like some creepy stuff? There's like a secret prison torture room over here as well. So yeah, creepiness going on at the end of this happy episode where the kids find shelter. I'm curious to see what happens. But yeah, classic Promised Neverland. They're teasing you at the end of each episode. I miss this tease. Like, even if it happens, it just makes me more curious. I'm like a slave to the teasing. Okay, so for Salsa Work Season 2, Episode 3, we get the mast cell, the cell that like releases the histamines when something goes wrong. She's just following her orders, but she kind of overreacts to everything, and then she just spams the histamines whenever like something small occurs. So all the cells kind of get mad at her. We also get the Langerhans cells. They're like these new cells that look like butlers. They have like these nice suits and gloves, and they reside in the epidermis. So their job is to like guard against outside UV light, warn the white blood cells about like any incoming viruses, to just be like kind of the guard against foreign objects, and to warn the body if something's like invading. But then a mosquito comes in, so it punctures the skin, it sucks out some of the blood. Our red blood cell main character, she almost died right here, but yeah, she survived in time. But then it introduced a virus, the dengue virus, which is kind of like a red mask. So the Langerhans cells are wearing this red mask, and it's like a JoJo reference. So David Productions at it. He turns into like the ultimate being, or it's like Dio rejecting his humanity, whichever mask you prefer. And then they're just turning into the dengue virus, attacking the other cells and multiplying. So then the mast cell comes in. She's a little late since she's angry that no one wants her. But then, yeah, she realizes that, yeah, she has to do her job no matter what. So then she drops the histamines there. The white blood cells are getting summoned. So then after that, we get the hair root. So then there's like a hair matrix cell that divides itself. And it does that to make more hair. So that's like your hair works. These matrix cells in your hair divide itself. But then they get attacked by acne germs, or like pretty grotesque worm-looking things that are attracted to sebum, which is like kind of like a pus-like thing. So they terrorize the hair cell. It's like only one hair cell, and our white blood cell is trying to protect it. There's like this little kid wearing these black robes. It's kind of funny. They have black and white robes, look like kind of a cultist. The white blood cell, he sees all his other white blood cells kind of die to the acne germs because they heal off the sebum. So if you try to attack them, they'll just keep healing. So in the hair matrix cells, they kind of clog the sebum pipes or whatever. This is happening in one hair. So literally all this trying to fight the viruses and save this one hair is like so emotionally important. The white blood cell, he comes into like a whole pressure point of sebum. He launches up and kills the acne germs. And then yeah, they save the hair. And then he gets a new black cultist hat. So yeah, we end the episode there where we get two stories, one of the mast cell and one of the hair matrix cells. Okay, and for cells that work black episode 5, we get some killer T cells, who are introduced to destroy viruses and cancer. They look similar to the killer T cells of the original cells that work. They're a bit more muscular and I guess testosterone induced. They're deployed because the white blood cells don't seem to be doing a good job since they got all injured from the gonorrhea attack. So then the helper T cell goes ham. He's like, you gotta fight. It's all up to us. We're the last line of defense. We're the strongest cells. We can do it. But then it looks like the killer T cells are getting exhausted and overworked. But then yeah, it's funny because the killer T cells, since they're working so hard, think that the hair matrix cells are cancer cells because they're dividing so fast. That's how like your hair works. The hair matrix cell divides. Like, oh, you're dividing so much, you must be cancer. So then they're attacking their own body cells. Like this is where baldness, like, and that's where your hair falls off. So yeah, too much stress is causing overwork for the immune cells, and then it's leading to hair loss. So yeah, pretty logical line of thinking there. The helper T cell is also like, he's giving the command, so he's the one you have to stop. He has like a cytokine to power them up. So it's like these immune cells are like so strong and they're just attacking. But then the red blood cell, he's there. We still have to do our jobs and deliver our oxygen. Like the killer T cells are doing their job, like fighting whatever, just leave them alone. Like we have to do our job to save the body. So yeah, they keep delivering oxygen, doing as best they can. And yeah, as they do it, there's some robots that come in. They're steroids, and then they subdue the immune cells, the T cells. And now we get some information where steroids can be used to suppress your allergies and then like kind of stop your immune system from going so ham. Yeah, steroids is like a quick thing you can do to cure hair loss. So yeah, this body, again, it's like a common theme. A bad thing is happening on the inside. An outside presence is given. This time it's steroids to quickly stop the malfunction in the body. Okay, so for the quintessential quintuplets, season 2, episode 3, we get a lot of Nino's story right here. So we get to know why Nino, she's in the room with Futaro, and she's a bit nice to him. They're easy to talk to once they're one-on-one. And she explains that she was mean because she misses the old times with her sisters where they were all like similar personalities. They all liked the same things. They're all together. And then as they got older, they slowly drifted apart into their own spheres. Nino is really strong about family, so the fact that their family's drifting apart, that makes her angry. So yeah, she also sees Futaro as an obstacle there. So now that we get her point of view, it doesn't change anything about her. She's still rude and mean, but yeah, we're warming up to her a little bit. Futaro does a thing where he disguises as Kentaro to fool Nino. Nino sees through the disguise and drugs Futaro and changes hotels. So Futaro is trying to convince her to go back to the sisters, but she continues to run away. After that, we focus on Yotsuba. Futaro wants her to leave the track team because she's doing too much. She can't say no to people. But yeah, she won't have time to study. And then we get a scene where Ichika brushes Yotsuba's teeth. Very Nisei Monogatari of her. And then she gets Yotsuba to admit that, yes, she is trying too hard, but Yotsuba does not want to drop out of the track team. She doesn't want to cause trouble for everyone. Futaro was listening on the phone. So yeah, they're hatching a plan, the other sisters, to try to get Yotsuba to drop out of the track team and focus on her studies. And at the end of the episode, we also see Miku, and she finds Nino's hotel room. So over here, there's probably going to be a Miku-Nino heart-to-heart bond. Okay, so for Jujutsu Kaisen episode 15, the exchange school competition is happening. The Tokyo school has a plan, and they implement it immediately. As the first minute of this competition where they're going to hunt some cursed spirits, Todo comes in. He's the big, strong, muscular dude that is just like is so scary. And then him and Yuji starts fighting. Yuji knees him in the face, and that's where the episode starts. So yeah, we get their plan of Tokyo where they're like, one person be this distraction for Todo, just like survive as long as you can, and the rest of us will try to kill all the cursed spirits and get the points. Because Todo is so strong that like he can just like destroy everyone. So as long as you distract him, Yuji, like we're good. So then Yuji gets like kind of punched in the arms. There's like a cursed spirit that blocks the punch as well. But then he punches through the cursed spirit and then hits Yuji. And then after that, he's like landed onto a tree. And Todo just stomps his face. Just like so much blood coming. And then just like, it looks like Yuji is just like knocked out right there. But then yeah, Yuji being Yuji, he gets back up. And then Todo is like, oh, okay, you're pretty strong. And then he gives him the question, hey Yuji, what type of woman do you prefer? And then Yuji being the man of culture that he is, he's like a tall girl with a big ass. And that's exactly what Todo likes as well. So Todo has like this kind of vision of him and Yuji being friends in like high school. Them like doing high school things, asking out girls, just like hanging out. So it's like Yuji just became this guy's best friend in a matter of minutes. So Todo starts crying. And then the rest of his school, the Kyoto school, comes in. It's Mai with the gun, a blue-haired girl with the sword, a guy with his eyes closed, the archer, and the robot with laser beams, as well as the blonde-haired girl with the broom. I don't know all their names yet, so I'll just use their weapon and hair color to identify them. So Megumi realizes that they're trying to kill Yuji, so he changes plans to rescue him, because it's like, what's the point of winning the competition if one of your comrades die? And they're trying to kill Yuji because they see him as like a cursed spirit. They don't see him as like a person like Megumi and his classmates do. So yeah, Tokyo School comes into the rescue. Megumi summons Nue to zap the blonde-haired girl. She's on a broomstick flying, and she gets like zapped with electricity. And Obara and Panda go to try to capture her. After that, Mai is fighting with the blue-haired girl, who's actually really nice. She doesn't really want to kill Yuji, but her motivation is she wants to kind of step up in the world. Like if you win the competition, if you have a good showing, then the higher ups will like recommend you to be promoted faster. So yeah, this blue-haired girl, she wants to get a good job as fast as possible because she's poor. That's her motivation. So that's a Uraraka type of motivation right there, to get money, get paid. And then she's fighting with the sword, so she has like some cool sword techniques where she can like quickly slash people. Yuji and Todo keep fighting because since they became friends, Todo wants to like keep fighting. And then Todo's so funny. He's like yelling in like English, my friendo, my best friendo. He's amazing. I love him. And then yeah, he judges Yuji's techniques. He appreciates his strength and toughness and his speed. But the thing is that bothers him. He doesn't like how Yuji uses a divergent fist where he punches you and then there's like a delay and then cursed energy hits you. He thinks that's a weak technique. It's not refined. It's not strong. And he's like, Yuji, you want to be strong, don't you? And then Yuji's like, yeah. So then maybe Yuji will take this fight as an opportunity to grow, to kind of control his cursed energy a little better. This is a pretty hype school competition so far. I'm hoping to see how it'll progress. I'm loving that all these characters, we get to see more of their powers. Okay, so for Higurashi When They Cry, episode 16. Here, Rika wakes up. It's the final timeline. She gives herself 5 tries. And then this timeline is over before it even starts. Because she's like trapped in bed. Satoko is there saying, oh, you have a fever, you're okay. But then she opens the blanket to reveal that Rika's entrails are just like leaking out of her exposed stomach. So she's like, her stomach is cut. She's screaming, she's tortured, she can't move. And then Satoko injects her with some painkillers, so she doesn't really feel too much pain. But she doesn't like how Rika was the priestess and wanted to leave. Because we know how Rika left after she broke the curse the first time. It's just like, I've been living here 100 years just dying. Let me just move out and explore the world, do my own thing, leave all these people behind. And yeah, that's where Oyashiro-sama got kind of mad and he cursed her to be trapped in another death loop. And then yeah, Satoko is telling her this, and Rika's like, this is the first time I heard this, damn. Maybe she has a point. Like, the people of Hinamizawa, they're good people. I grew up with them, I should stay with them and support them, and we'll have fun together. So it's kind of like Stockholm Syndrome right there, where once Rika admits this, it seems like she's reached the end of the loop and she can finally live her life normally, no more death and murders. So then she wakes up after Satoko like pulls out her entrails, and then she's like in a beach. Everyone from the club is having fun, being happy, and then it's like they go back to the first timeline, I guess, where Keiichi and Rena, they're not suspicious of each other anymore. Keiichi doesn't leave the Watanagashi festival to see what's in the temple. Just like the best life for everyone, no one dies. That's fine. But then after that, we see the cameraman and the doctor, Tomitake and Takano. And then they look like they have something they want to say to Rika. And then we remember in the first timeline, their whereabouts were kind of unknown in the festival. It's like maybe they went to the storehouse, but now they want to have something to say to Rika. So it's probably has something to do about this timeline. It might not all be perfect. It's only episode 16. Yeah, so much brutal stuff has happened these past 2 episodes for Rika. She finally reaches like this promised land